Number two, cancel culture chooses to throw people away, but kingdom culture chooses to restore people. I love this so much because in verse 7 it says, and I will restore to you all. Everything that was stolen from you, everything that you lost, everything that you thought was gone forever, I'm going to restore it all to you. I'm going to bring it all back into your life. You thought you would never get it back, but I'm bringing it all back into your life. You know, have you ever been in a hurry and you went to get on an elevator and you push the button and all of a sudden the doors open and the elevator's kind of full? And normally you would probably not bother anybody, but because you're in a hurry, you step in, you're like, excuse me, and you get in and they're rolling their eyes the whole time. They're like, oh gosh. Like, who are you to inconvenience me? Why are you here? Like, why didn't you just wait to the next elevator? But now then you're on the elevator and all life is good and everybody's kind of chilled out and you go down one floor and the door's open and somebody else is trying to get on. Now you're the one rolling your eyes. You're like, really? Like, I've got somewhere to be. I'm in a hurry. Isn't it amazing how much grace you lose in one floor? How much grace you lose for others in just one floor? And I think that a lot of people in the church have lost grace for people that aren't on the ride yet. They've lost grace for people that aren't on the elevator yet. They've lost grace for people that are still searching. They've lost grace for people that are still hurting. And they're rolling their eyes and going like, why are you bothering me? Why are you here? And I'm telling you that we need to realize that God says this, that I want to be a church and I want you to be a people that restore people, that say, get on with me. Come on, you are welcome. We expect people to be where we are. Well, I've been a Christian for 20 years. You've been saved for 2 days. Why aren't you acting like me? Because they're new on the elevator. They just got on. Give them time and give them grace. Give them love and show them kindness. Walk with them. Talk with them. Pray with them. Care for them. Last thing. Cancel culture pushes people away, but kingdom culture makes room at the table. I love this because the king says, and you shall eat bread at my table continually. Here, the king invites another person to come to the table. Have you ever been seated at a table and you're having dinner with some friends and everything's like, man, it's a good vibe and everything's great and we're laughing and having a good time, and then somebody walks in unexpectedly that somebody at the table knows, and they all of a sudden go, hey, where are you seated at? And you're like, oh, don't do this, don't do this. Don't do it. Pull up a chair. You're like, no, there's not room. Is this just an introvert thing, or is it... There's not room. I've got my space. And then they pull up a chair and they sit next to you. And now then you got to do the lean. And now I've lost my spot. I was comfortable before. I had my place. I had my seat. I had my parking spot. I was comfortable where I had my groove. Everything was good. Now I'm sitting on the crack. And it's wobbly and I need some sweet and low. Anybody got any sweet and low? I'm uncomfortable now. I'm lean. My back's hurting. I'm not as young as I used to be. And my place is not where it used to be. And I'm not sure what's going on, but this is uncomfortable and I don't know why they're here. See, because we forget that there were sons and daughters already seated at the table. And David, the king, made room for more. And I want you to know, church, that we need to always be a people that make room at the table, that we invite people, that we say, hey, you can come, come sit next to me. I'll give up my chair. I'll give up my service. I'll give up my seat. I just want you to come. Why? Because I know this, that you'll find rest. You'll find comfort. You'll find restoration. And you'll find healing at the king's table. Because I was once on the outside and he invited me in. I was once in the middle of nowhere, and He found me. I was once hurting, and He healed me. Can I tell you that as Christians, we need to echo the words of our Savior. Come, all who are weary, all who are hurting, all who are wounded, all who are dysfunctional. And the King, He'll give you rest.